What's going on, everyone? So it looks like more likely than not, the Los Angeles Lakers are going to trade D'Angelo Russell. And he is having an excellent season, but they are pretty determined to unload him. They're trying to get DeJounte Murray. They're trying to turn him into Murray, however you feel about that situation. Although things are kind of at a hold right now. We got the report that they offered D'Lo, Jalen Hood-Schifino, first-round pick, and then other draft compensation. Again, so far, it's at a standstill. Maybe it gets done at some point. Maybe it doesn't. But regardless, the Lakers are interested in Tyus Jones. And trading D'Angelo Russell for Tyus Jones makes zero sense to me. D'Angelo Russell is the better basketball player. Tyus Jones is excellent. I like Tyus Jones a lot. Don't get me wrong. In a backup role, like if you were to trade Gabe Vincent for Tyus Jones and like whatever else you had to give up, sign me up, right? I would be all for that. And I don't think you'd have to pay a ton to go get Tyus Jones, just simply on the fact that he's a free agent after this year. He's making $14 million. So they also run the risk of losing him for nothing. So it's like, if we could get a Gabe Vincent who could help kind of add some veteranness and be a piece for us, and then also get couple seconds or whatever out of it, maybe that'd be enticing, right? Maybe you're throwing in, Maxwell Lewis or something like that. Give him a young player. Here you go, something along those lines, right? But I don't hate the idea of Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones, I think, is a very solid basketball player. But again, you're not turning D'Angelo Russell into Tyus Jones. The only reason I'd see you doing that is one of two reasons. One, you fully believe that D'Lo is leaving and you're going to lose him for nothing. And if you get Tyus Jones, he's willing to re-sign and stay. Or you're getting Tyus Jones plus other pieces and maybe it makes sense. So maybe if you could get like a Tyus Jones and say like a Daniel Gafford, that could make a lot of sense, right? Okay, now you're in a position where it's like, okay, well, you just got a center that is capable of doing multiple things, could start if you need him to, could back up. He's on a good contract. He's making $12 million this year, right? So between Tyus Jones and Gafford, it's $26 million. So you'd only need to match $8 million. So again, maybe you're doing a D'Lo and a Gabe Vincent, something like that, and getting to there, and maybe you're getting some other offset piece or whatever. I don't know, but I don't hate the idea of Daniel Gafford and also getting Tyus Jones. I think that both of those guys, you got Tyus Jones who's 27, Daniel Gafford who's 25. Both those guys could be pieces for now and the future. Again, I don't know how much better that makes us. I think you get an upgrade at the center position, backup center position. I think you also get a very quality, serviceable point guard, but I don't think Tyus Jones is the right point guard for this Lakers team, although you could make the argument, right? And we'll touch on that here in a moment, but let's spend a minute on Daniel Gafford, right? And then we'll dive into Tyus Jones because there's just a lot more that I want to talk about with Jones. Daniel Gafford, again, 6'10", good size, good length. He's got like a 7'2" wingspan, right? He's got some good athleticism. As I mentioned, he's 25 years old, so he's still extremely young, 234 pounds. He's got some good weight behind him. This season, 36 games, playing about 26 minutes per game. He's shooting 68.5% from the field. This is a center that doesn't stretch the floor at all, doesn't take any threes. I don't even believe he's ever taken a three in his career, period. So everything is at the basket, and he's averaging 6.2 attempts per game. And again, shooting 68.5% is really good. Free throw line, he's not terrible. He's not great, but he's not terrible. He's shooting 73% from the foul line this season. He's averaging just under 3 offensive rebounds per game, which would be great and help in the rebounding department. He's averaging 7.6 rebounds, period. And then he's also averaging 1.6 assists, 1 steal, and 2.1 blocks per game. So this gives you a legit shot blocker, 10 points. So he's basically, in 26 minutes of play, giving you 10, 8, 1, 2-2, right? Pretty good. I'd be all for that. He's a guy that you could start, play alongside Anthony Davis. He's a guy that you could bring off the bench and still have minutes with both of them on the court. I like the idea of Daniel Gafford. I really like the idea of Daniel Gafford. He's on a very reasonable, very manageable contract. Have him locked up for a couple years. And then in the same process, if you get Tyus Jones, now you got both of them. So you got a point guard, you got a shooting guard, all of that. But touching on Tyus Jones here a little bit, getting into just his stats and stuff, he's a bit undersized. He's 6'1". He is a sort of 3-and-D point guard also. He's not this like incredible playmaker, but he is very good. He has an incredible assist to turnover ratio though. He takes care of the basketball. He doesn't turn the ball over much, if at all. He also can make plays. I'm not trying to say he's, some scrub out there or anything like that. But he is averaging this season 5.8 assists. So let's call it 6 assists. He's averaging less than 1 turnover per game. He's averaging 0.9. So let's round it up to 1. So he's averaging basically a 6-to-1 turnover to assist ratio. And he's essentially done that like his entire career. The guy is good at taking care of the basketball. And I don't think he's the best fit as your starting point guard with this team. Or fit's the wrong word. Let me rephrase that. I don't think he's the best option as your starting point guard. Fit-wise, I do think he would be an excellent fit because he can play off ball, also from three-point range. He's shooting 41% from three this season. He's a career 36%, but the last 3 years, he's shot anywhere from 37 to 39% from three. So he can shoot the basketball. He can make plays, give you, basically 12-6, 13-6. You can play off ball, so when LeBron has the ball, he's still a threat. He's still an option. So again, fit was the wrong word. Let me correct that. But as far as your starters go, not super high on that. I'm not super sold on that. And it is him and Austin Reeves. Is that enough to get you what you want? And he's had better years defending. This year, he hasn't been very good defensively at all. But, a lot of that is just the Wizards are awful, right? So how much of that is just he's on a really bad basketball team with basically no one that can defend. So it just by inheritance, essentially, he's looked at as a bad defender this year. Where if he came to Lakers and he's playing alongside like a Jared Vanderbilt and an Anthony Davis stuff, he'd kind of get back to being a legit 3-and-D style type of defensive guy. That would be nice, right? Get an upgrade in that regard. But again, to me, even if you got Tyus Jones, Daniel Gafford, you'd have to get something else. All right? If these two, if you're getting these two for bench upgrades, I'm all for it. Make that happen. Let's do that. 100%. Because Tyus Jones in a backup role as your backup point guard would just be A1 in my opinion. And then to have Daniel Gafford as a backup center, again, A1 in my opinion. He would be fantastic. But if these are guys that you're going to get for a starting role, now I'm very hesitant. Right? Now I don't necessarily think you're making a real upgrade. Again, if you told me you could flip D'Lo into Jones and Gafford, I may be interested in that, but I would prefer to look in other ways, right? Question is how do you get there without D'Lo? Right? Unless you're just getting Tyus Jones or you're just getting Gafford. Which the Wizards, Tyus Jones, they have to trade. Gafford, they don't necessarily have to. And what is the cost? What do they want for Gafford? Again, Tyus Jones, you're not trading a first or anything like that for that. And you're not trading a first for Gafford either. So, can you get them for 3-4 seconds? If you could do something like that, I'd be all for it. The Lakers, I think, have 3 or 4 seconds that they could trade. If you could do something like that, I would sign me up. right? If you could get basically both of these for 2 seconds each, I'm with that. But again, how do you get there, right? Because technically, you'd have to trade either D'Lo or Rui, and they're not going to take Rui back because that doesn't make any sense. So you'd almost have to trade D'Angelo Russell plus whatever else, right? Unless you do like a 3-team deal where maybe you're sending Rui elsewhere and Gabe Vincent maybe goes to the Wizards, or Gabe Vincent goes elsewhere and some other team is willing to add those other 2 pieces to kind of make salaries work or whatever, right? So basically you'd have to trade D'Lo, or you'd have to get a 3rd team involved, one way or the other. That's kind of the only 2 ways I see it there. I wouldn't hate if, like, let's say you traded D'Lo and Gabe Vincent plus, like I said, like 3 seconds or whatever for these 2. And then you traded Reeves for, like, DeJounte Murray. Because then you'd have, like, DeJounte Murray. You'd have, I guess, Taurean Prince at that point at the 2. Jared Vanderbilt at the 3. LeBron and AD at the 4 and 5. And then your bench would be Tyus Jones. You'd still have Rui Hachimura. Still have Cam Reddish. So it'd probably be Tyus Jones, Cam Reddish, Christian Wood, Rui Hachimura, and Daniel Gafford would be your other 5 off the bench. I think that's really good, right? I'd like to try to maybe look to upgrade into 2. Maybe try to flip Rui into like a Royce O'Neal or something like that, right? Like, what if you could get, and again, we're just kind of we're just talking, right? Could you get something where you get like DeJounte Murray, Tyus Jones, Daniel Gafford, and Royce O'Neal, and basically trade D'Lo, Gabe, Reeves, and Rui, plus, like, Jalen Trufino, whatever else, right? And be left with a starting 5. Imagine a starting 5 of DeJounte Murray, Royce O'Neal, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. And then you got a bench of Daniel Gafford, Tyus Jones, Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish, Christian Wood, and Daniel Gafford. Let's get it, baby. I like that. I actually like that a lot. A lot. That's very good. Now you have perfect balance. Now you got Wood at the 4, Gafford at the 5 as your backups. You got Cam Reddish as your defensive 3 to dispel Jared Vanderbilt. You got Taurean Prince to come in for Royce O'Neal. The only reason I'd start Royce O'Neal is he's just a better defender. And then you got Tyus Jones coming in for DeJounte Murray. Let's do that. That's what I want. I might actually make a video about, like, my ideal trade scenario, because that's pretty good. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you like the idea of a Wizards trade? Do you think no? Stay away from that. Doesn't make any sense. Would you trade D'Lo? Would you not? How do you feel? What your thoughts are? Love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.